Alright, so I'm going to use this as a prototype. I just don't like the way it looks, but we're going to see. I think it should fit this. And I think that it's the one for the extra gear. I don't know when I'll have another one with the extra gear, but I do have the one I can kind of mock it up, but I'm missing the pieces, so we're going to go ahead and pull that and then change this. So this is a 3D part that I printed. I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Um, it worked fine. That's PETG, but I made a little bit nicer of a part here, and so I want to use this one instead. This one's designed to incorporate the metal sleeve, so that means that you can tighten it down and it'll go all the way through. The other one, you can't tighten it down too tight. If you do, you run a risk of it locking up. This right here, I've just tightened it. I run it all the way down in, then back it up, loosen it until my wheel can spin pretty freely. I don't want it to be too loose. Anyway, so that part will come after I get this out of here. And I don't know how hard this is going to be, as far as like if I decide that I want to. I can't get this damn Bowden tube out. So I got to get this out of here too. Oh Lord, have mercy. So there's going to be a little bit. So one major problem here that I see right away that might have caused this to fail is that somebody put oil on this, a lot of it. And so anyway. But this piece here is really, really thin. And I imagine that this has got to be in a different position to use either or. I'm not going to use that unless I have to. Okay, so now we need to get the cover off of this. And there's basically, I think, one, maybe two screws that hold this thing here. Yeah. So, I love how simple these are. So our next step is we're going to have to get the wrench out, the little tiny wrench, and we're going to have to loosen these, and I'm going to go ahead here, remove this stepper motor, but I got to go over here and take some of the tension off of this. That way it's loose. So now, I don't know what size that is. It's probably this one. Yep. So, I wish I had my ratchet handy. But by the time I go get it, it's going to be kind of late. So what I can do is I can cut this tube, which is what I'm going to do. I'm not interested in slipping the Capricorn tubing in there at this point. So I'll just cut it to reach the extruder, So basically we're just going to mock this up and figure out where it's at. This one here is pretty far behind the in most cases I think you would kind of need to come in here and remove the hot end, which isn't that hard to do. It's just 2 screws, but I'd rather do it like this. So I'm going to try and carefully do this. On some of these prints, they've made it to where the spacers press in or not into here. I believe that these ones are supposed to press in because the holes are much larger. But because this didn't really print like amazing, I don't know if it's going to be that easy to press these into there, or if I even want to. Because I don't really think it's going to matter, except for the fact that this is like boogered on the back. That could pose a problem. So what I've determined is the size of this is about 5/16. They're just going to come in here. I was trying to be careful because the drill will totally rip this out of my hands and hurt me. If it decides it wants to go, it's going to go. Ooh. So let's see. Oh, you bastard. Okay. Right. That fits in there. Now I can get the other one off the floor. So this is probably going to work the best, just because the simple fact that this plastic is actually thinner than what we really wanted. Okay. Alright, we got that there. Get our palm wheels. Look pretty worn. That's okay. And nylock nuts. The reason they're called that is because they have a little nylon in the end of them that locks them on. Let's get the other palm wheel. There we go. So now we got to test 2 different things here. I noticed that the gantry on these enders, you lean on it and it goes down. Whereas on my other printers that have dual Z screws, they don't seem to do that. Okay. All right. So what we need to do now is take our piece here and see. Okay. Are we going to be able to reach this with that? The answer is no. So there's other ways to do this with other types of setups where it makes it maybe a little more simple. I think this one right here is an exact copy. Let's see. So if we use the factory unit here, okay, if we use the factory unit, okay, we're not going to reach this, okay? So this isn't going to work for that. But what we need to do then, we'll go into the bag of stuff that was supposed to go back to Amazon. We have this stuff that they sent to me that was used. I'm really getting tired of getting used crap from Amazon. Okay. So, this one here will indeed fit this, no problem. So, that's perfect. So that's what this one's for. And I can't do anything with it because it has like all the wrong parts. So, a guy did make one of these, and I'm going to print it up. It's adjustable. You slide it back and forth to where you want it. And I thought that was pretty genius. So, this particular print will work with these type of dual gear extruders. We can see that. That's perfect. It's lined right up. But these factory ones, they're not going to work. Now, they can work if you just move it just a little bit. You don't have to move it much. So, anyway, I can't do anything with this. It was like my whole plan today was to do that, and the thing showed up with parts missing. So, not going to happen. And I don't think I ordered a second one from a different company also because I wasn't sure if one of them was going to be bad, and I need 3 of them anyways. Now, it's possible that I might be able to print one of these that's actually thicker so that it will sit out to here instead of like this. So, anyway, we have another bracket here too, I was just thinking about. But this is for a different type of machine where it goes in like that, and in this case here, let's see. I don't know if it would work, but it would come in through here, and then it's supposed to hold the BL touch sensor. So, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. So this other one would sit right here and line up supposedly with these two, but it doesn't. It lines up with these two, kind of. Anyway, we go here, and I can see where it could work with the stock extruder size, but outside of that, it's actually for one of the Ender 3 Pros. So, this thing, I don't know, might not end up getting converted just because I got, you know, a lot of stuff to do. The other thing is, it's not necessarily important that I convert this one either, because I don't need it. I'm trying to figure out what I can use to push these back out with. Perfect. I just used a screwdriver. Pushed him right out. So, okay, let's get this back together. You get a better idea of how these are kind of set up by watching my video if you've never taken one apart. Trying to think if I have any stuff laying around to oil these with. They're not too bad. You know, I don't know. People complain about these palm wheels, and I haven't really been around anybody where they're like, I had a palm wheel fail. I've just never seen it. So, I never knew that there were so many different variations of these enders. So many different variations of these print head plates, or whatever you want to call them, you know? Where the nozzle is here, the nozzle is there, you know? It's like, good Lord, pick a spot and stay in one place. And then I've got the other printer over here. I finally got the firmware on it, and it's running the Sonic pad, but I can't get it calibrated. It just like, I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I'm having trouble with that. It's the Z offset, like it's changing itself. And then I'm sure glad I was using one of these cheap polycarbonate print beds, because I adjusted the Z offset and it wasn't responding, and then all of a sudden it started to respond and it buried itself into the print bed, and it damaged the print bed just a little bit, not real bad. Anyway, these are cool. They're like the Chevy 350 of like printers, you know, or the Honda Civic of printers. That might be giving it too much credit, but I mean, like, they're popular. They work okay most of the time, and everybody has one. Most people have had one. These are my first ones, but like, I had the Ender 3 V3 SE first. That was my first new printer, and I had the pyramid printers, which are extremely similar. Getting this thing tightened up. I want it to where it's not going to wobble. Okay, so now there's little clips that lock in here on this guy, and then I just need to figure out what I did with the screw to it, and we're good. So that's pretty much all there is to taking one of these apart. I'm thinking that I have it over here. I got a couple of them laying around. Like, oh, this could be the wrong screw. So I prefer this style of hot end just because I know I can get them for like really, really cheap on Amazon, and there's going to be no problem getting one in 2 days. You know, something like a hot end for the Solvol SV07, the Elegoo Neptune 4. Yeah, I don't know. And then the new Creality printers, they use some other type of deal too. So I'm going to go and clean this up here. I'm going to reinstall my thing. I'm going to put my red piece here, and I'm going to 3D print one of these, I think, in red also. We'll catch you guys later.